Hello, everyone. Welcome to Reaper and H2K Sports Takeaway. I'm one of your hosts, JT's Reaper, alongside your other host, Mr. H2K himself. How you doing, man?
Bada bing. Oh man, I am hanging in there, baby. Whew. What a great time for sports right now, particularly the UFC. I know that you and I are both extremely excited about the return of Mystic Mac, Conor McGregor. And there were some tremendous fights over the weekend and today, as a matter of fact. And then we're going to cover the championship weekend that's coming up as well, which your fucking Packers are in.
My Green Bay Packers, baby. All day. The Kings of the North are coming for you. Get ready. It's going to be 10 times better than that other crappy Kings of the North show, Game of Thrones. You'll see the real King of the North taking advantage of the Iron Throne here.
Exactly.
It's gonna be an amazing week for sports, folks. It's definitely gonna be. You want to remember. I mean, starting with last weekend. Really, I mean, the fights last weekend. Can we talk Max Holloway?
Dude looked like an absolute animal. It looked like when he pieced up Brian Ortega in that fight where they fucking had to stop the fight because Max was just doing 12, 14 punch combos. I mean, just an absolute utter domination. Qatar from Boston. What a heart that guy's got, but he absolutely got demolished in that ring.
Holloway standing there, not even with his hands up, just like saying I'm the best and throwing punches and like not even looking when he's throwing punches. He's looking this way, just go pop, pop, and still hitting the dude. Like it was just
and slipping him too.
Yeah,
and slipping him. Yeah, look, absolutely.
He did the Muhammad Ali shimmy shake. It was just it was unbelievable.
It was a performance, and I mean, do I see him going back? He's in the featherweight division, which I want to bring up a fight that took place this afternoon from Abu Dhabi. We'll go into that later. We'll continue to talk about Holloway here for a moment, but he's in the featherweight division. Alexander Volkanovski is the champion. He, in my opinion, Holloway won that second fight, as many other people feel that way as well. Do I think he gets another opportunity against Volkanovski? I don't know, because Volkanovski's different. That guy kind of just stood in front of Holloway and took punches. Either way, dominating the performance against a top-tier fighter.
Yeah, I think Max Holloway, I mean, if he's looking at being back to after that, I think, regardless of Qatar kind of standing there taking punches or not, I think you have to almost give Max Holloway the look, just because popularity-wise of that fight, the thing with fighting is it is a little bit of a popularity contest. You could be the number one contender and a great fighter, but if you've got a lot of hype around you, I mean, we've seen the fourth contender, the fourth place guy, come into a title fight. Why? Because he's just popular, man. I mean, let's look at
his branding.
Yeah, let's look at Ben Askren. I mean, Ben Askren gets one big fight in UFC and got launched to like the number 2 spot, and then obviously ran into the freight train that is Jorge Masvidal. But I mean, everybody said, "Oh, he wins that fight, he's going to be having a title fight here for his next one." So I think Max Holloway, I almost think you got to put him. If you're Dana White, I almost think, because of just how awesome that fight was and people loving it, I think almost you got to put him in the title fight. I think you have to.
I would agree with that. Max Holloway definitely has way more hype around his name. I look through the division. Other than this guy I'm going to speak about here momentarily, who fought today. Who else is in the featherweight division who's going to...
Right. That's going to put up just an absolute show like
Ortega.
that was.
Ortega will come in and fight Ortega's an exciting fight. He just doesn't have the same, the same name. His hype train is not as good as Holloway's is. And Holloway has a little bit of more of a flair than Ortega does as well. And you need flair, man. You need flair in the fight game.
Oh yeah. That was the most exciting fight I've watched, like just entertainment wise, in so long. Like the last time I remember being that entertained by a fight was Diego Sanchez, Clay Guida. Because those guys just came out just pummeling each other, dude.
You need to go and watch the bantamweight title fight. I think it was the bantamweight. I can't remember. But Davison Figueiredo versus the Mexican guy. It was the last card of the year. It's a very similar fight. It was 5 rounds of nonstop,
just nonstop action, man.
Nonstop. So yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, I gotta look something up first before I go talking about this.
Yeah, I mean that just this weekend, the whole card was incredible. I mean, you had knockouts and straight up fights. None of it. Personally, I think cards are better when it's cards like this where it's not championship fights. It's not guys trying to fight for this legacy type of shit. It was a bunch of these guys who are just coming up the ranks trying to prove themselves kind of deals. And other than Max Holloway, who's been a champion before, but he fights like he hasn't been a champion because the dude just goes balls to the wall every time. But those kind of fights interest me more, I think, because the guys actually fight. They don't play just stick and move championship fighting,
Yeah, which is something I saw tonight or this afternoon when the UFC Fight Night took place. Chiesa versus Magny. And Chiesa, it just wasn't an exciting fight. Chiesa pretty much was playing the numbers. And I'm not discrediting a grappling artist such as Chiesa. It's just from a fan's aspect, who likes knockouts and who likes high intensity on the feet stand-up game. That's just my thing. But I understand the grappling of it, but I don't like when people use grappling simply to advance themselves to the next level. You know what I mean?
Right. And because grappling can be exciting. When you've got some of those submission artists. Ronda Rousey, when she would get people into arm bars and you'd watch her work to get into that kind of stuff, that's exciting. But yeah, you're right.
She was explosive.
Right,
she was explosive.
Right. But when you get into the when you get into you were mentioning the whole just I'm just gonna tie him up on the ground because if he can't throw strikes at me, then I'll just have him tied up on the ground and I'm getting points for keeping him tied up. That's not exciting. It's boring. And then, you've got Israel Adesanya. I like Israel's prior to him being a champion fights. Since he's become a champion, he plays that stupid he won't even go to the ground with people. It's I'll throw one punch here and then I'm going to run away from you for the rest of the round and I'm going to win the round throwing my one punch. It's not exciting. It's boring. I don't like it.
Yeah. It's not exciting at all for sure. Okay. So the guy I was going to talk about is not exactly in the same weight division, but I'm pretty sure this guy could move up and fight at featherweight. I don't remember what is bantamweight. Hang on 1 second. I got to figure this shit out. So 112 to 118 is bantamweight. Featherweight is 119. Yeah, so 119 pounds. So 10 pounds about. Anyway, it's Habib Nurmagomedov's cousin. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Umar Nurmagomedov. If you have ESPN Plus, you need to go and watch this guy fight. His question mark kicks are some of the fastest and most powerful kicks I've ever seen thrown, in my opinion. And I think Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is a good way to compare him to, because Wonder Boy has some crazy kicks, very karate style, but these kicks just come out of nowhere. And the thing that is dangerous about this kid is A, he's only 24. B, he is 13-0. C, he's being under Habib himself, and D is his freaking wrestling is that of Habib's. The way he pressures on top of his striking stance, this guy can knock you out. So whoa. This guy is this guy is in another dimension on where he's at with his striking and his grappling. It's insane.
Yeah, the guys like that, that's what gets fans super into it. It's very, very old school. I mean, Chuck the Iceman Liddell, the guy wasn't afraid to stand in front of anybody. Guy wasn't afraid to go after it. That's the same thing with Khabib's cousin. It's like these guys aren't afraid to just jump in front of a wall, in front of a freight train, and get hit and go for it. And that's the kind of fights that we had this last weekend. It was all, I'm going to stand in front of you, or even on the ground, I'm going to work you. And it was just, oh man, such good fights all the way from the main card, top of the main card, down to the very bottom fight on the undercard. Just incredible.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. I think the icing on the cake was obviously the Holloway performance. I think he definitely probably stole the show. I would imagine he got the $50,000 bonus for fight of the night that they usually give out. So yeah, but man, I'm telling you, it's 10 minutes. You need to go and watch this Umar Nurmagomedov kid, dude. Because once you get older, maybe 6-7 years from now, I think you see him in the featherweight, maybe even lightweight division. He's 5'8", McGregor's 5'9". So I think he could easily step into that realm and be another dominating force. I think right now he's probably maybe a little bit of a late bloomer. And hasn't quite hit his stride yet with his physical appearance. So I hate that the Russians are doing it. Damn
Do
it.
you think he would move up to lightweight at any point? And could we see a Khabib versus his cousin fight?
No, that would be amazing, though. That would definitely be an amazing fight, but I don't think they would ever allow that to happen themselves. And if they did, it would be great publicity, but it would most likely just be a wrestling match. Khabib would probably win, would be my guess. But as soon as this guy matures physically, I think you'll see him either in featherweight or in lightweight, because he's 5'8". He could easily hit that, 29-30.
How about the comments that Dana made last weekend as well, saying he's talked to Khabib, and Khabib said, Dana, show me something that makes me want to come back. Does that mean we're going to get a Khabib comeback?
All I care about is Habib Connor. The only fucking reason, not the only reason. MMA is an awesome sport. They've turned it into something that was a backyard brawl type situation to a legitimized sport. And I hope to one day see college programs of MMA, high school programs of MMA, where maybe headgear or very light sparring, kind of
like an Olympic judo situation, kind of.
Maybe, but I'm talking like it's a nationwide thing, like a football or a baseball program, and then there's college programs, and then there's a draft, dude. Like, I don't know how you would do a draft though.
Yeah, because you've only got like two major companies. I mean, there's other ones out there that are hiring guys, but I mean, really, Bellator, UFC.
There are camps and teams though that could form, American top teams and these other camps that produce championships. But I think that would be so amazing, and if you get the right people in there who come in and teach the martial art aspect of it, that comes with the discipline and how to behave in real life. and not just being, this crazy fighter, but, understanding the martial art and where it came from and the discipline that goes along with that. I think it would be an absolute refreshing piece to be brought into the public school system, into the college realm, all that stuff. But anyway, I was going somewhere with McGregor. McGregor is the best thing to ever happen to the UFC.
Oh, hands down. Yeah.
Hands down. And God damn it, he is entertaining, even in this softer phase of his life currently. I've watched a couple interviews before we got on. He seems much more mature. It seems like he doesn't want to be in the tabloids every week, It seems that he is truly becoming that family man, but he's still about whooping ass and cashing checks.
And I agree with you. Like that last fight with Cowboy, did you see him? He went over to Cowboy, said his piece to Cowboy, was a nice guy about it, and then basically just got out of the ring. That's not the Conor we're used to seeing. Personally, I like it. I think he's very much he's a more respectable fighter now. I think more people are willing to fight him because of that. They know they're not going to get absolutely shit roasted at the end of the fight. Like they expected at before and in pre-fight conferences and stuff like that. But even this Poirier fight, pre-fight, Conor's not even really going after Poirier in this pre-fight.
No, but even if you look back at McGregor specifically, he never didn't shake a dude's hands after he whooped their ass. Oh, well,
true, yeah. No, he'd always do that, but there'd be some sort of there'd always be some sort of commentary to Joe. Joe would be interviewing him, and he'd have some shit to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he'd verbally teabag him.
yeah. That's what it is. Or he'd call out his next guy, and instead now he kind of just goes, whoever wants to fight me, fight me. I don't care.
I don't know. At the end of that Cowboy fight, I was like, I'll take on any one of you mouthy fools. I was like, hell yeah, McGregor, get him. But I was watching an interview with BT Sport earlier today, and he said something that was absolutely amazing. I don't know that I've ever heard someone in sports or anywhere for that matter, and I've read a bunch of different books on advancing and getting yourself better in life, and he said his coach said that this was the best version of Conor McGregor that he's ever seen. Conor's response was, this version is the best until the next one comes along, which will be the best. And I was like, fucking A, this guy is the best at wordplay. I love McGregor. There's a poster I'm going to buy here shortly of McGregor. It's going up somewhere, baby.
I think one of my favorite clips is McGregor fighting in Ireland before he was even in the cage, when he was still fighting ring MMA, and he just leans over the ropes and he's like, "I'm the fucking future."
Yeah.
That's the kind of guy. I like that Conor McGregor. I like this Conor McGregor as well. I think it's incredibly interesting. How are you feeling about it looking towards the future a little bit further? Obviously we're going to get into McGregor, Poirier, and stuff like that here in a minute as well. But what about his boxing training? What do you think about the Manny Pacquiao fight?
He said it was in discussion. I don't personally think I want to see that. I want to see McGregor completely focused on the octagon. I want to absolutely see him come through, dominate the division, and I want to see Khabib McGregor at the end of the year. After McGregor has maybe beat Poirier, which I think he will do. If he doesn't, I'll let you in on a little secret. I'm gonna be heartbroken if he doesn't win this fight. I really want him to not let this softer side take over in the ring. Hopefully that doesn't happen. And I want to see the McGregor Khabib fight into 2021. And I want that to go all 5 rounds, go to a decision, and maybe it's a draw and there's a third one. Whew.
I think I have to agree with you. I'd rather see him focus on MMA. However, the Pacquiao fight interests me more than the Mayweather fight did, because it's no secret I'm no big fan of Floyd Mayweather. I actually genuinely dislike the guy. But the reason I didn't like that fight was because, I knew going in that Conor was going to try to throw strikes and Floyd was going to run around for a long time. Until the very end when Conor eventually got gassed and then Floyd was going to be able to easily pick him apart. So that I didn't like even going in. I knew that was going to happen. That is what happened. And we all saw how that turned out. And it was kind of boring. However, Manny Pacquiao interests me maybe a little bit more because Manny is traditionally a striker. We may see a good amount of striking here. And Manny's not afraid to stand in front of you and take shots either. Neither's Conor, so it might be a little more interesting. But I think I have to agree with you that he is much more entertaining in the octagon, especially because he knows it's his world. And
well, it's his explosiveness too. You take away his lower half of his body when he's in the boxing ring. His explosion with his kicks is just on a different level than most fighters. The way he can snap them out, and it's not so much a damage as it is the way that what he creates off of that explosion with the kicks. So I think that he is completely at a disadvantage in the boxing ring. Not that he isn't a phenomenal boxer, because he will outbox the shit out of most MMA guys. I just think with his legs, man, it just takes him to another dimension, man, in the octagon.
Yeah, I agree. Like I was saying, it's his world. So, when Conor's in boxing, it doesn't seem like he talks nearly as much. It doesn't seem like he's got that same swagger. You know what I mean? Whereas he comes into UFC and into the octagon, and it's like you get swagger McGregor walking around. So
Mystic Mac, baby.
Yeah. It's just a much different ball game. Makes it a little bit more exciting. But let's get into.
I want to see to continue on the what fights I'm looking forward to. I want to see Sugar Sean O'Malley back in the octagon. I don't know what's up with him, but he needs to come back in. The kid has one-hit knockout power, and he also adds entertainment to the sport with his antics and just how he is. So, yeah, Sugar Sean, if you see this, please come back, man. I love watching you fight, bro.
You know who I want some more of as well is Tony Ferguson.
I'm done with him, man. 2 losses in a row.
But he's so exciting,
he got dominated.
But he got dominated. Even when he gets dominating, it's still fun to watch because the guy will take so much abuse, dude.
He's exciting. 37. He's 37 years old. I think he needs to be. He's got maybe 1 or 2 fights left, and if he doesn't make a run for the championship gold in those 1 or 2 fights, I think it's got to be done. Because to get dominated by Gaethje and to get dominated by the Oliveira kid, not to take anything away from that guy, because he's been fighting for a while, and he's clearly got a skill set that none of us realized. But yeah, I don't want to see Ferguson right now. No,
see, like I said, I like it just because he's not afraid to stand in front of you, take a punch, and then maybe dish one out here and there as well. I mean, he's really a submission artist as well, so I mean that's exciting.
I mean, he's got a lot of things, but I just don't know. He's
awkward. He's different, weird styles. I don't know. I like it.
He just something ain't right now, so I don't know.
I'm sure it'll get figured out. But anyways, let's go on to the official talk about the McGregor-Poirier fight. I'm excited. Real excited.
What we have here is a classic stand-up battle, and 2 boxers going at it. Both of them have ground games, but if this thing goes to the ground, I would be fucking surprised. I think it's going to be it's just going to be hype because McGregor's fighting. So you are going to be holding your breath through the first 2 rounds, which is absolutely what we pay to see, right?
Yeah. Well, let me say this. It's definitely going to go to the ground. And I say that
it's going to go to the ground?
Yeah. Conor's going to hit Poirier, and Poirier's going to hit the ground. That's the way it's going to be, man.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm excited for both of these. Poirier is a much different guy than he was in their first fight. I
The
think,
whole overtone
yeah,
of the fight as well.
I think Poirier is the thing that interests me about this is I know Conor's going to try to knock him out, but Poirier seems like he's gotten a lot tougher, and I think it's going to take a while. I think Conor will eventually knock him out, but I think it's going to take a lot longer than Conor thinks, and I think Conor's going to be a little tired by the time he gets there, because I think Poirier is going to be able to take a little more abuse this time around.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Honestly, I'm making an emotional pick here and going with McGregor just because, I like him. He's the best UFC fighter right now that I like to watch. So I'm going off of that. But is the diminishing of his shit talking, the mental warfare that he is capable of out before the fight, is that going to affect, and the absence of fans? He's not fighting in a full arena.
Yeah, it's definitely not a full arena. However, I will say, I don't know if you noticed, but they let a lot more people. They let a significant amount of people in at least this time.
2,000, I think it was.
I mean, an enclosed arena like that, I mean, that's not terrible. I mean, that's better than a lot of the NFL games we've had recently where, there's nobody in there and stuff. But, I almost think the lack of shit talk might actually get into Poirier a little bit. He might be going in there going, wow, there's really not a lot coming from McGregor's camp. What's going on right now?
He didn't shit talk Cowboy either.
Yeah, and I almost think it's almost playing mind games with him just as much as the shit talk does, because these guys are going in like, oh, maybe Conor's getting a little soft. Maybe he's there's nothing coming at me, and I almost think they take it lightly.
Absolutely. Yeah. It will be interesting to see what happens. I think McGregor still wins regardless.
I think McGregor wins as well. Fight. I'm excited about it.
And then you got Michael Chandler, who was in the lightweight division as well. This is the most stacked division in the UFC. And I wonder how that fight's going to go. Or is McGregor and Chandler going to fight at some point? So there is quite a few things going on inside the lightweight division. I still think Tony Ferguson is out of the conversation. And back to the crowd thing, I think that affects Tony Ferguson. Because if you look at these two losses, both of them were in empty arenas.
Yeah, what do we have for female fighters on this card? What do we got coming up on that?
Not exactly sure, but I know.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Because what I think of is like there's practice speed and there's game speed in the NFL. Someone maybe like Derrick Henry is a great example. His practice or speed probably isn't what his game speed is. You know what I mean? Yeah. When you have those fans and shit going, So I think that affected Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, Tony Ferguson. I mean, it's just so sad because I like his off fighting styles, and I loved when he's tough. I
loved when he was fighting, and that Pettis fight they were in. Ooh, yeah, that was a good one.
So we do have Joanne Calderwood, who I mean,
she's been around.
She's been around. She's pretty fun to watch. Significant strikes per minute. She lands almost 6. Which, I mean, for significant strikes, that's a significant amount per minute. The strikes.
Who's the challenger?
Jessica I, who, quite frankly, I think is going to get smoked. Because
Calderwood and I, that's a big fight in the female division.
Yeah, so right here, we've got the standings up or the stats up, and I mean, Joanne, I mean, just dominates almost every category except for defense. But I mean, if she keeps it to her feet, I mean, she lands almost 2 more significant strikes a minute. the percentage that she lands is 50% of her significant strikes. Jessica's is 38. The amount that she absorbs, Jessica's got a little bit of advantage. That's part of her whole defense thing. But even grappling too. I mean, Joanne just wins in almost every category, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think the stats in MMA can be quite confusing. That's why they've been trying to pump in stats. That British guy, or wherever the hell he's from, has
Michael
been pumping in
Bisping?
stats. No. It's the other guy who's been on the cards in Abu Dhabi this weekend with DC and Felder. He's been pumping in stats, and I never really liked that in MMA. The record is what matters, not so much the stats. I mean, I can appreciate them, but MMA is like, it's one little thing, dude. You fucking slip or you get caught, dude. It's like, boom, you know. It's hard to come back from getting caught and getting slept, you know. So
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
What I find interesting is, kind of to your point, if you look at Jessica's record, she's 15-8. Joanne Calderwood's 14-4. Jessica is, I mean, with 8 losses, it's kind of funny because, you know, you're right. The stats can be deceiving. Her defense is better rated than Joanne's, but she has 4 more losses. So I mean, exactly. that can just go to everything.
The stats are weird, man. It's weird in MMA because you can just get caught so quickly in the blink of an eye. You know, it's not like there's because once you're knocked out, that's it. So, yeah. Mariana Rodriguez and Amanda Ribas. 10-1 and 12-1. Oof.
That'll be a good fight.
That's a fight.
That'll be a good fight.
Well,
yep, that'll be exciting. Both from Brazil, so we're probably going to see Brazilian jiu-jitsu out of both. I like it when the same style, even though UFC is kind of meant to have the different styles fighting each other, I like seeing the same style fight because it usually means a little bit more action. There's a little less of the tactical play involved, so I'm excited for that one. I think that's gonna be a good fight, I think.
That looks like a banger. Definitely some tough ass women finna go at it and throw hands, slap leather, whatever you want to call it. Who else is fighting?
Looking along the bottom here, I'm really.
Does that say Rosenstrike? No, that's Roundtree.
No, yep. I'm not really excited about
the main card.
Yeah. These other fights are just not, like, just don't intrigue me.
It's the names. Brad Tavares is someone who does catch my eye. Not so much who he's fighting, but Brad Tavares is on a little bit of a run. Dan Hooker and Michael Chandler. This is a good co-main for sure. Yeah. Dan Hooker intrigues me a little bit. The 20-9's got a lot of fights under his belt. Same with Chandler. So that's exciting. Michael Chandler's height apparently is 0 feet 0. He has a 0-inch reach and 0 leg reach. So I mean, good luck hitting him, Dan. Right.
But yeah, so I'm
not there.
so I mean, that's exciting. That'll be an exciting one. Other than that, no, really, a couple of the female fights intrigue me. Like Rodriguez and Ribas. Joanne Calderwood, I like watching her fight because she's a tough SOB. And then Dan Hooker and Chandler. Other than that, the prelims and the undercard, I might not even watch those this go around. I'm just not excited about it.
I know. I don't see anything that's intriguing. There's not really any build-up going on with it. And here's another thing. There's not nearly the build-up that was Gaethje and Khabib.
Yeah,
as true. It is, McGregor Poirier. Where's the hype train for that shit? I mean, I guess they just don't need to, and I don't think they're paying these fighters. They didn't have to build this card at all. McGregor's on there, so they're gonna float off of him.
Yeah, very true. It's a little disappointing that it's that way because I like, especially when a McGregor fight always has a chance to be done early. So when that's the case, you almost feel a little gypped. So in my opinion, in a fight like this, I would want to have a stacked card. I would want to have, okay, let's at least intrigue the people through the first like 5 of the main or 4 of the main card before we get to McGregor, because that could be over in seconds. That was kind of like the Ben Askren one. I went to watch that and I sat through 3 hours of boring fights that were just lame to then get to the main card the main event that was Ben Askren, Jorge Masvidal, and it was over in seconds, and I'm sitting there going, well,
30,
that was
5 seconds.
That was a waste of 3 hours because none of the other fights were worth a shit. So
and you had a damn near $100 bar tab. Probably.
Yeah. And, so it's like you're sitting there like, man, I'd rather have like a stacked card. I guess really a couple of those female fights are probably what I'm most interested in.
It's probably the lack of names that we're more familiar with. I hate to say that we're casuals, but we might be on the casual side. Ferguson likes to throw that around. I try and watch most of the the fights. But if there's not a name on there that I'm familiar with, I'm probably not going to be like making sure I make time to watch it.
Yeah.
So there's that. But yeah, I agree with you to an extent. Because a McGregor fight could be over in the first round.
Yep. Yeah. So that's a little bit of a barn. But going forward, so do you think if this fight is exciting and Conor looks real sharp, do we see McGregor Khabib?
I fucking hope so. And I hope that McGregor maybe intentionally draws the fight out.
Okay.
I don't know if he can do that. I don't know if you want to put yourself at risk to do that. But then again, it's like, it ain't money that he needs.
Yeah, I don't think Khabib wants to see McGregor pop this kid inside of a round. I think Khabib, to want to fight him again, is what you said. I think Conor has to draw it out a little bit. I think Khabib wants a fight
5 rounds of continuous action.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That's what I think it's going to take.
I think if you look at all the champion, all the top tier fighters, Khabib has fought 3 or 4 of them and taken them inside the distance. Iaquinta is one that I know for sure went, to decision, if I'm not mistaken. I know he fought Aldo and took that to decision, but that was a 3-rounder, and McGregor took him into the 4th round, if I'm not mistaken. So he wasn't able to get him out of there quick. And I think McGregor made some solid ass points about maybe Khabib don't want to step back in there.
Yeah, maybe. I think I personally thought that too. I thought for sure, I'm like, Khabib's gonna be done forever now. But whether Dana's telling us the truth or not, because Dana could very well be lying to us. If Dana's telling the truth about this, show me something that makes me want to come back. I personally took that as oh shit, Khabib's pointing to this McGregor-Poirier fight. He's saying, hey, if this is good, maybe. So I'm hoping that that's the case, because I'd like to see Conor Khabib again. I also would not mind seeing if Nate Diaz gets scheduled for a fight, has something real interesting. I wouldn't mind a Nate Diaz Khabib fight either.
Right, Nate Diaz is a fucking dog as well. Mm-hmm. Yep, that could be a dog ass fight. Yep, that is an interesting matchup. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I totally agree with that. I hadn't even considered that as a possibility, and I don't know why Khabib hasn't. But it would be interesting to see Nate dog Diaz get in that motherfucker, dude.
Yeah,
You know,
like
and Stockton slap Habib.
Because I mean that guy, yeah, he is a animal. He don't give a crap about nobody. You know, he is all just about like, dude, I'm gonna come in there, I'm gonna whoop you. I think that'd be an amazing fight. So Dana, please schedule a Nate Diaz fight, because if that brings Khabib back, I'd watch that too. You know, I'd also watch another McGregor Diaz fight as well. Because I mean, man, it's
trilogy,
just some bad.
Because it's 1-1.
Yeah,
it's a 1-1 situation right now. So the trilogy would confirm it, and put that individual at the top of the heap in that particular, trilogy. So
I mean that helps for Conor's. Conor did say the other day that he is looking to return full time, and he wants to be a champion again.
Yeah, and it sounds like he's ready to make a run. Like I said, I just watched an interview with him that got posted to YouTube 5 hours ago. He definitely said he wants to make a run, a legitimate run through the lightweight division. He's not going to be fighting at welterweight, which is what he fought Cowboy at. So it looks like we have a determined lightweight Conor McGregor about to make a run, and 2020 is looking good.
And again, to do it, I think you got to run through Nate Diaz.
I think he has to beat a. I think that he fights Oliveira. I think he fights Poirier. I think maybe he even does. You may have to even throw Gaethje in there. I don't know. You know, it may be Poirier, and depending on what happens with the Chandler Hooker fight, go through Chandler.
Yep.
And then maybe there's a Habib opportunity there.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with you. I think whether even if Conor fights Khabib not for a title, you can almost say that that's the title fight. You can almost say that it is the title fight. Because I mean those two guys. I mean Khabib was the champion before he had to just give everything up because he retired. You know.
I don't even think he's giving it up yet.
Yeah, I think we're still on an interim champion. I think.
Really?
Huh. Yeah, because when he's I'm pretty sure they had to. I think we're still on an interim champion. Don't quote me on it, but I think so.
Let's see. Let me see if rankings I can find it. No, Habib's still on the UFC website. He's still no, he's on the pound for pound. He's still here. Let me see. Can I click his name? He's still at the top.
Okay.
Men's pound for pound top rank. So, yeah. Okay, here we go. McGregor's at 13th pound for pound. Max Holloway's at 8. Poirier's at 7.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. I think what would be interesting to watch is I think after this Poirier, you schedule McGregor Diaz again, and then winner of Diaz McGregor, I think gets a shot at Khabib. I think would be pretty exciting. There's a lot on the line there that way.
No. Absolutely. So here are the champions as the currently title holders. Davison Figueiredo, who I fucking love watching this guy at flyweight. He should be undefeated. The only reason not sure about that. Anyway, Peter Yan at bantamweight, which he needs to watch his ass with that Nurmagomedov kid coming through. And then Volkanovski at featherweight. Habib is still the title holder at lightweight. Welterweight, middleweight, light heavyweight, and heavyweight. Some names that need to get shaken up. Usman needs to get out of there. He is not active enough for me. So... yeah.
Even Volkanovski, I haven't seen him fight since he won the title.
Yeah. Well, no, he fought Holloway a second time, and a lot of people thought that he should have lost that fight. So,
I think I do remember that, actually.
Yeah. But and then you got Nunes holding the featherweight and bantamweight, and then you got Shevchenko and Wei Li Zhang, I love watching her fight.
Oh, she's a beast. Speaking on the women's side, I believe in February, Macy Barber comes back.
That'll be interesting. You know, she's tough. She's got a lot. She's tough, but she's got a lot. She's got a lot to improve, sharpen those skills up, in my opinion.
Let's see. When's her next fight? She posted it on Facebook the other day. Yeah, February 13th, Macy Barber fights Alexa Grasso. That last fight was Macy's only loss. And really Macy didn't really get to fight because in the first round she tore her ACL. And then fought through it.
Yeah.
Dude, that's why I love her though. She's a tough son of a bitch who just fights through stuff, man.
Do you know what her weight class is?
She's in flyweight. She is in flyweight, and on February 13th, she will be the co-main event.
Yeah, she's got a lot of draw for sure. Obviously her looks help her very much. She obviously is a bad mamacita. But when I look, if she's going to continue climbing the ranks, ain't no way she's beaten Valentina Shevchenko. Not with what I saw on her footwork. Even before her ACL got torn in that fight, she looks stiff. Her movement is not explosive compared to Shevchenko. If you watch Valentina Shevchenko explode into a punch or a kick or even a takedown, it's just a different level than any other women. You know, the only person you can compare it to is a Nunes or Wei Li. There's just championship level talent in her explosiveness. So,
who is that Russian chick who looked like an alien after the fight was over with Wei Li?
Shit, I don't remember her. You talking about that fight that went all the whole distance? They beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, it went the distance, her forehead was like fight. So swollen. She literally looked like a damn alien, dude.
Yeah.
I personally enjoy watching the females fight a little more. I think there's the guys have like a respect for each other at the end of the day. I don't think the females in the UFC have a single ounce of respect for each other at the end of the day. So they go so much harder.
Man, hey, one thing that I am absolutely positive in this lifetime is that women are extremely intelligent creatures. They are more than smarter than men in most cases, in my mind. But when they get around each other, man,
yeah,
sometimes there's a competition. It's just on a different level. Obviously, we are not females. We don't understand what that realm is like. But there is just a different level of like emotion when women are competing, man. It's different. It's a different level, man.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. They like the guys, they look to go out and embarrass each other essentially. You know, like Connor's looking to go out with Dustin here, and he's looking to make him look stupid, but he's not looking to hurt him. Whereas I think these females though, they come out with the intention of like, I'm gonna put you in the hospital.
Damaging.
like they aren't screwing around.
No, I don't think so, man. It's just a different level, man. You piss off a woman, it's a different level, you know. You piss off a dude, y'all might fight, and that'll be the end of it. But you piss off a woman, man, nah, dude. They finna make you have some pain and suffering along with your prize.
All right. Well, let's it's gonna be exciting for sure. Can't wait for it. Let's go on to some NFL playoffs, huh?
Absolutely, man.
Are you ready to listen to me rant about the Packers for the next half hour?
God, I hope it ain't that fucking long. We got the Kansas City Chiefs, we got the Buffalo Bills, we have the Packers, and we got
The Tampa Bay Gronkaneers.
So the Tampa Bay Gronkaneers. I gotta say that I'm excited for the AFC game. I'm not so excited for the NFC game.
Well, let's start with the AFC game. First of all, I need to make an apology to the Bills Mafia because I called you guys out week 1 of the playoffs, said you've been exposed, you're going to get your shit rocked, you're not going to go anywhere, and nothing's going to happen to you. I'm very sorry. I apologize for that. I was wrong. You guys are probably going to the Super Bowl, and the reasoning I say that is because I don't think Patrick Mahomes is playing this week.
Because of the concussion protocol. Mm-hmm. If that happens, I don't feel that it's a legitimate win for the Buffalo Bills.
I don't either, but I still think they're going to win.
I hope that Patty Mahomes gets cleared because that's the reason why I'm excited. Josh Allen versus Patty Mahomes. Let's see what happens. I want to say they might have been drafted in the same class. Am I wrong about that?
That I do not know. But I will say Kansas City's defense looked a lot better than it did throughout the year against the Browns. I mean, they still gave up a decent amount of points because the Browns potentially could have won that game had they not fumbled on the inch line. If that calls a touchdown, maybe the Browns win. And so it still would have been what, 28 points I think the Browns would have put up, which I mean isn't great, but it was definitely a little bit better defense than we had seen throughout the year, so maybe that'll help them. I think the defense did step up a little bit when Mahomes got hurt. What does help them, at least your backup is a seasoned veteran in Chad Henne. I mean, not amazing, but I mean, in most circles, if Chad Henne's your backup quarterback, you're decently happy with your backup.
Yeah, and you still look at what weapons they have available to them, and a Kelsey is literally
best tight end in football.
I think you got to say best tight end in football. Yeah, I think you have to give them that. I'm trying to think of who would even come close at this point. I can't think of anybody right off the top of my head.
George Kittle's probably the closest, but he's
he's been injured and shit.
Yeah, he's not Travis Kelce. I mean,
yeah. Kittle is good when Kittle is healthy. I think they challenge one another in that respect. But yeah, Kelsey, the durability, size, and the way he catches the football, I think is just different. So, but yeah, with the weapons that Henne will have available to him, including a Pro Bowler tailback, of course I forgot his name. Guy from the Steelers. What's his name? Le'Veon Bell. There we go.
Yeah.
So you got Lev Bell back there who can, make things happen. We've seen it done before. So, yeah, be interesting to see.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good game. I still gotta give it to the Bills. I think with Chad Henne in there, I don't think they do have the weapons. They still are a decent team, but I don't think Chad Henne's gonna be able to move the ball on that Bills defense. That Bills defense is pretty stingy. It's definitely a better defense than the Browns defense. And Kansas City seemed to be having not a lot of trouble, but at least a little bit of trouble with that Browns defense. So against the Bills, I think it's going to be a little bit tough. I think
you probably just have a better defensive coordinator in Buffalo too.
Yeah,
we forget that Leslie Frazier is on the other side of that football for Buffalo, who was a head coach in at the Vikings, and when they had a great defense. Yep. So they're no slouch on the leadership on that defense, including the playmakers that they have. And Stephon Diggs is a motherfucking monster. He might be the best receiver in football.
Yeah, I agree with you, except for the part where Stephon Diggs being the best receiver in football, because Devontae
say
Adams
Devontae
is
Adams,
king.
no,
Dude,
dude.
no. How can you not give it to Devontae Adams? The guy missed the guy missed 2 games through the year and still led in yards and in touchdowns. And he missed 2 games.
Cool, man.
And he missed 2 games.
Let's see, dude. 2020 career. What am I looking at here? Why is there not just a
can we bring up that Devontae Adams also had to square off against Jalen Ramsey this week and made him look stupid? Made him look like the worst quarter in the league.
115 receptions, 1,300 yards. There's no way that's right.
That is right. 100%.
Let's see.
He was the best receiver this year by far. And he missed 2 games.
Okay, so here we go. Devontae, 115 receptions total. Stephon, 127. 1,500 yards. Now, here's where Devontae slaps everybody. 18 touchdowns. And Stephon Diggs only had 8.
And again, he missed 2 games. He's only 12 receptions off of Stephon Diggs.
Yep.
Again, 2 games. He's probably above him in receptions. And he was what, like 200 yards off? Okay. Those 2 games, those 200 yards come back. Best receiver in football. It's unquestionable.
Yeah, his touchdowns are like 10 more than Diggs.
Yeah. Yeah, it balled out, bro. Set the Packers franchise record in pretty much every receiving category.
Yeah.
7 more touchdowns, which is a lot in 2 games. That probably wasn't going to happen. But had Devontae played those other 2 games, I'm willing to bet that Devontae's sitting second behind Randy Moss in receiving touchdowns in a season. With like 23. Right. Maybe 22.
So, postseason wise, let's see. So, postseason though, my man Diggs is taking on a different fucking round, bro.
That's
128 yards last week.
Look who they played.
He had a touchdown in each game. He played Indianapolis and he played Baltimore.
Look who they played. Indianapolis defense joke. Baltimore defense joke. Just a joke.
Was not a
joke. No. Just a joke. The Packers had to play the Rams last week, okay? Number 1 defense in the league, mind you, with arguably one of the top corners in the league. Jalen Ramsey is probably, in my opinion, probably 2 or 3 behind Jair. And Devontae made him look stupid. Devontae made him look absolutely dumb. He was turned around. He didn't know what to do.
He only got 66 yards on him, so he kept him under 100.
Yeah, scored tutties, though. Made him look stupid on the goal line. Devontae made a little motion, made Jalen run into his safety, and then Devontae scores a touchdown. Made him look dumb. Made him look absolutely stupid.
Oh, man. I can't argue with the 18 touchdowns, though. Those are fucking points.
Yeah,
so
that's a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah, that's 18 of them. Absolutely. For a receiver, that's huge.
That's got to be what? More touchdowns than the Titans got all season as a team?
Oh, my God. No way, dude.
Well, I mean, you're not in the playoffs anymore, so it's got to be somewhat true.
Which is fucking horse shit, dude. They need to fire everybody. Oh, my God. But yeah, I mean, I think that I hope that Patty Mahomes is in this championship game.
I do too.
And,
it makes it more exciting.
Yeah, it does, and it's going to be a good game either way. But I definitely feel like some of the interest will be taken away if Mahomes isn't playing. I hope they let him play. And then you got Aaron Rodgers versus the 6-time world champion, and Tom Brady.
with the little asterisks next to it because
Yeah.
championships in football, there's 21 other guys helping you out. So just it's not all Tom. But I will also say this. Tom Brady is not going to be the factor if the Buccaneers beat my Green Bay Packers. He won't be. Tom Brady is a non-factor. What is a factor is the defense that is carrying him through this season and this postseason. Once again, Tom Brady has been bailed out by situational football and his defense. In the first game against Washington, they didn't have Alex Smith. That bailed Tom Brady out right away already because Washington was having troubles moving the football without Alex Smith. Then against the Saints, once again, notice every time the Buccaneers got the football outside of the 50, they punted. Every time the Saints turned it over, they were inside the 20, and then Tom was able to throw one and run one in. That's the only time they could score.
Yeah.
So I don't think that offense is going to be a factor at all. I think the defense, if anything, if they win that game, is going to bail Tom out, which is going to piss me off because everybody's going to go, look how great Tom Brady is, just like they did last week. They're like, oh, he's better than Drew Brees. And I go, yeah, well, at least their offense could score from outside the 50. You guys couldn't. Sad, Drew Brees probably done. Football forever. I mean, I don't think, just like with any legend, I don't think we appreciated Drew Brees as much as we probably should have.
Get him up and get him out, man. They too many protection on the quarterback, man. Too much protection on the quarterback. Dude should have been done 5 years ago. Brady should have been done 10 years ago, you know?
Yeah, I don't know, but Green Bay Packers, I think, have too much going on for them. Their defense is phenomenal. Aaron Rodgers, the MVP, with the best receiver in the league. I mean, that's a combo that you just can't pass up. Aaron Rodgers, with what he brings to the game, is the best quarterback as far as skill set wise and knowledge. Everything that encompasses a quarterback, which is why his QB rating's the highest. But he's the best quarterback we've ever seen play the position. He does it all. Best QB rating of all time. He'll retire with that easily. He's going to win his second Super Bowl. I'm calling it right now. I wasn't going to call it earlier, but the Packers are going to win this whole damn thing. And
you heard it here, folks. Your Green Bay Packer fans just jinxed the fuck out of y'all.
No, I didn't. We're going to win the whole damn thing.
Are coming for this guy.
We're going to win the whole damn thing, and we're not going to pull a Tennessee Titans last year. We're not going to pull what Green Bay did last year against. See, Green Bay had to play the 49ers last year, who were a much better team than this Tampa Bay team.
Defensively, they were monsters, dude.
And I think Tampa and Green Bay is going to have a tough time in that weather. It's going to be cold up there in the frozen tundra.
Yeah, but Tom Brady was playing up in Boston for all them years. It ain't.
Once again, that's one guy though. That's one guy though. Like I think Leonard Fournette's gonna have a tough time running the ball. He has played in warm weather teams his whole career. Played at LSU in warm weather. I think he's gonna have a tough time carrying the football. Yep,
I would agree with that. And I think that. I don't know who I would pick. I'm scared. I'm scared to pick against Tom Brady. I'll tell you that right now. I just think that when you have a 6-time winner of Super Bowls, it gives a different air to your teammates.
Whose defense has bailed him out every time. Okay.
Right. Well, maybe he's the reason for that because he's got all those championship
the quarterback affects the defense, huh?
I think in a momentum and confidence and what he brings, I think there may be something there. Aaron Rodgers has been criticized and critiqued over the years for how he handles himself, inside the locker room and things.
I would give Mike Vrabel and Teddy Bruschi more credit for the New England success than Tom Brady, okay? Those guys have bailed his ass out so many times.
Oh,
Aaron Rodgers, his leadership is unquestioned this year. I don't know if you've seen it. Robert Tonyan wrote a letter to all the fans of Green Bay, thanking us, by the way. Which also, I mean, you're talking to an owner, an NFL owner here, so I think I have a little bit of insight on this. Okay.
Oh, no, we didn't do that, dude. NFL owner, ladies and gentlemen, had no fucking idea.
Robert Tonyan wrote a letter, okay, basically saying Aaron Rodgers, best leader he's ever been around. The guy from day one took care of him. He's calling him Bobby. He hasn't been called Bobby since the 4th grade. Which, by the way, that letter was really funny as well because he's talking about his first day and he was brought in as a practice team player. And they're running scout offense. And this was when Rodgers broke his collarbone. And he goes, so I'm standing in the scout team huddle. And he goes, guess who comes running out as my scout team quarterback? Because he's rehabbing. And he goes, Aaron freaking Rodgers. And he goes, Rodgers runs into the huddle. And Robert, I guess, had just met him like an hour before this. And Rodgers looks at Robert Tonyan and goes, hey, what's happening, Bobby? What do you say we go score some points? And then they torched the starting defense for like 3 touchdowns. Robert Tonyan says he's great, so I think the leadership's not in question anymore. Packers are going to the Super Bowl. We're winning the whole damn thing. We're gonna be 5-time world champions. Well, more than that, we have the most world championships. 5-time Super Bowl champions. It's over. We could end it right now. It's over. Just end the season now. Let's save everybody the time.
Hey man, if they make it, it'll be an exciting time in Wisconsin. That I would miss because there's nothing like Green Bay Packer fans in Wisconsin. It's definitely something that attracts me to the state because everybody, just loves that stuff. It is infectious, regardless if you are not a born and raised Wisconsinite, but a transplant. It rubs off on you.
I will say that compared to other states, like Wisconsin, pretty much, like, no matter who you are, what you're doing, like, the state almost shuts down for our sports games. Like if the Brewers are on, the Bucks are on, the Packers are on, the Badgers are on, like everything stops, for that moment.
Yeah.
Which I have yet to find that in other places.
I would agree with that as well. I just don't think it's the same level as it's been. And I haven't lived in a bunch of different places, but I've lived in enough, to see that, it's just on a different level with that particular franchise in Green Bay. It just, everything stops and, everybody's in a good fucking mood during football season all the time. And I love that. Because I'm in a fucking good mood,
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's great. But
it's the best atmosphere, even if you're not at the damn game,
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We were actually talking about, me and a few buddies were talking about going to Green Bay, to watch the game in bars and stuff because we think it'd be an amazing time. I'm not gonna go just in the event that I do jinx it, so I don't think that's I don't want to be the reason they lose, okay? But all right. So what do we got for picks here?
I'm taking if Patty Mahomes plays, I'm taking the Chiefs. If Mahomes is out, I'm taking the Bills. Damn, man. I have a hard time betting against Tom Brady. I'm going Buccaneers. Fuck.
Okay.
I don't want to.
Okay.
I gotta take the Bucs though. If I was betting on it, you know what I mean? If I was betting on it, I would pick the Bucs.
Fans of the show, let me tell you something, all right? No matter what, when the Titans are playing, I've never picked against the Titans because my co-host here, I go, you know what? If we're going to side with him on this. We're going to pick his Tennessee Titans. And you see what he does to me? He picks the goddamn Buccaneers. Even against the Ravens last year, I said Titans. We're going Titans all the way. They're going to do this. And then they let me down. year after year, I feel the Titans' pain because I have to side with this man, and they let me down all the time. And then this man picks the Buccaneers. What are we?
Oh man, I
but
recant my statement. Solidarity for my co-host, Mr. Reaper. I'm picking the pack. Go pack, go. Go pack, go.
yeah, I think I'm gonna go the Bills regardless whether Patty Mahomes plays or not.
Okay.
I owe the Bills fan base that because I really kind of ripped them apart week 1 of the playoffs, saying that they were no good. So I owe them that one. And then obviously I'm gonna go Green Bay. It's one, it's fandom. Two, it's Green Bay's hot, and I think there's a confidence there that just can't be matched.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Something about Tom Brady going up there because y'all ain't never had to play him, dude, in this particular type of an environment. With him being in the AFC this whole time, so I'm just thinking, man, it's hard for me to go against that man, dude. You've just seen it. You've seen him pull it out so many fucking times. Look at what happened in that Atlanta game. That Super Bowl not that long ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
I feel you. I feel you.
It's hard for me to pick against him.
I feel you. Yeah, it's tough for sure, but. One thing I forgot to go over when we were going over kind of the past week's stuff. How about Jameis Winston throwing a long touchdown bomb against his former team, huh?
Yeah, fuck that guy. He's trash too.
I usually I don't like Jameis Winston, but I did like that against the Buccaneers. I thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, he threw the most interceptions in a season ever. True. I mean,
however, he couldn't see his receivers though. If you recall, the Buccaneers paid for his. Which when he threw that long touchdown bomb this last week, I said, "Thanks for the LASIK, Buccaneers."
Oh man, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It would be hard for him to get a starting job again.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, for sure. But. Yeah, so with
to get a little vengeance, but they lost. So how much vengeance did they really get?
That's true. That is true. So if Kansas City, if you've got the Kansas City Buccaneers playing in the Super Bowl, who you got?
I'm going Kansas City. I think you can't beat Patrick Mahomes, bro. Nah, that dude is on a different planet, man. Arm talent, ability to see what's happening down the field. Andy Reid right there behind him, who's got years and years of playoff experience, championship game experience, and the ability for Mahomes to take off when he needs to and pick up a critical first down. It would be hard for me to pick against Mahomes.
If it was Kansas City, Tampa Bay, I'm thinking less about Patrick Mahomes and kind of what you said, Andy Reid, I think is the biggest factor in that game. Last week versus the Browns, he's a genius. Towards the end of the game when they needed a clutch first down to seal the game away so that it was officially over, he had everybody line up like they weren't going to run a play, like they were just trying to draw him off sides on fourth down. And then what does he do? He calls a wide receiver screen that faked. It even faked Tony Romo out. And Tony Romo does not get faked out during the game very often.
No, he does not. He's one of the best. He's probably one of the better, maybe one of the best play-for-play analyzers out there, in my opinion. Absolutely.
I agree because he calls stuff before it happens, and
he's right on point usually.
Yeah. When he faked out Tony, I went, holy shit, this guy's a genius.
Yeah.
So for me, that's the biggest thing I think Kansas City's got going for them. Now, if it's my picks of the Bills and Packers playing each other, it's over. Packers got it all day. It's not even a question. It's not even.
Well, we'll be knowing after the weekend who is going to be.
We will. That we will.
We will be knowing. We will be a knowing. Yeah. Those game times, anyways. I gotta check that out.
I think the Packers are on at 3 p.m.
Saturday
CST.
and Sunday, or Sunday
Just
only?
Sunday. I believe it's just Sunday.
Sunday. NFC Championship game. Why are you not just taking me exactly where I need to go?
Also, fans of the show, if the Packers lose, H2K will be hosting this show on Wednesday by himself, because I will be too upset to even emote. Like, I'm gonna have to take a week off of work and like just re-find myself. So
I hate when I can't just find what the fuck I'm looking for, man. Like right the fuck away, dude. Like what the fuck, dude? I don't know where my damn phone is. Oh, it's in my pocket. Jesus Christ. I gotta see when the fucking game is.
Fans of the show, also, if you could like, subscribe, and comment, that would be great. We will be reading the comments, so anything you've got for us, we would love to debate you with. Yeah, so both on Sunday, I believe.
I'm smarter.
I would concur.
Unless you're a woman, of course.
I would concur with both of those statements. Yeah, we would love to talk to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so at game times, I think the Packers are like the 3 p.m. game, and I think the Chiefs are the 7 p.m. game. CST.
Yeah,
I think
it's 2:05 and 5:40. I wish they were a little bit later. I wish they were around 3 and 7.
Yeah,
that's when it would start. 3 and 7. I like that better.
I agree. That 2 o'clock is it's not quite snacking hour. You just had lunch.
Yeah, that's not right. It's just not right, dude. So fucking true, man. It just ain't right. It ain't the right time, NFL. You need to contact our show and come on here, and I'll tell you why.
Roger Goodell. Let us figure out the schedules from now on. We got you. We're from Wisconsin.
We know the playoffs.
Yeah, we know the best drinking times, snacking times. I mean, we're the know-it-all guys of those two things. Okay.
Exactly. We know when it's time to drink and time to eat, and when you eat and then you drink, and it ain't them times. Either one of them. I sit there and think, it ain't 12 o'clock. You know what I mean? It ain't at 12. Yeah. Damn, man.
Right.
Well. Yep.
Oh, man.
Well, I think that about does her, huh?
Yep, yeah, that's going to wrap up the show for this week for sure. Like stated a little bit earlier, please like, subscribe, comment. We'd love to debate with you. Hell, maybe we'll even bring you on the show, and Mr. H2K can rip you apart and tell you why you're wrong.
I will verbally make you cry. That is correct.
He'll Conor McGregor you, and it won't be pretty.
I will.
And we won't apologize.
I can't wait until I get this baby. This poster is gonna be lit, dude.
Dude, yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited for the fights, as well, and everything this weekend is just gonna be insane. The whole sports world this week has been gnarly. One thing we didn't talk about was the James Harden trade. That was kind of crazy too. That has happened recently.
I knew that was happening.
Yeah.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Yep. So I mean, that's been happening too. The sports world has just been shaken up incredibly the last week and a half. So we're excited. That's why our show is actually running a little longer today, because we got a lot to talk about.
There's so much going on, man. Absolutely. Next week's show is going to be even wilder. We're gonna know who the winner is. McGregor Poirier 2. We're gonna know who's going to the Super Bowl, and Reaper hopes that it's the Packers.
There you go. See, that doesn't openly acknowledge that they're going, but that's better. I can accept that one.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, everybody.
All right.
Thank you for tuning in to the show this week. We appreciate it. We will be on next week, same time, same place. you know where we be. Also, if you want to follow any of our live streams on our gaming channels, you can find me at twitch.tv/JT's Reaper, and you can find Mr. H2K here, right here at YouTube, under Hard to Kill. I'm pretty sure they can find you.
Porn stash. Check it out, just a little stubble, you know.
He's rocking out that porn stash magic on his streams. Are you back to Destiny streams? Is that what the deal is?
I will be back. I will be back next week, and we'll be doing some morning opportunities for people to come in and check me out, and hopefully we can get this fucking legend thing done, and we can get off this damn game. And then where do we go after that? I don't fucking know. So yeah. So
hopefully guys, we'll both be back to those streams as well, and hopefully running some games together again, because we're awesome.
Yeah.
And right.
We are. All the time. But, everything.
Yeah, so anyway.
Gold only.
Guys, we will catch you on the next one, and hope you enjoyed the show. Peace.